This is a CBS2 News update. I'm Mary Calvi. We start with breaking news. Airport cleaners make a disturbing discovery on a plane at LaGuardia Airport. Police say this morning the crew found a fetus in the bathroom of a plane. It appears to be about 5 months along. The American Airlines flight landed last night from North Carolina. Port Authority police are looking at video to determine who on the flight was pregnant. Right now, the mother has not been located. Now to the extreme heat. Brace yourself for another hot and humid day. A heat advisory is in effect for New York City and parts of the tri-state area. John Elliott is here with a look at the sizzling forecast.
Hi, Mary. Hi, everybody. I wish I had better news. I mean, it's a bummer for me, too, and I love hot weather. It's the humidity. That's what's really taking the toll. 83 right now and sunny. That's the 11 o'clock observation. Yesterday, we hit 92, so we did it. We tied the number of 90-degree or 90-plus days from last year. 13 last year, 13 this year. Well, we may beat that today. And the reality is, with the humidity yesterday, it felt like 97 in the city. We had heat index values up to 101. In fact, wow, this is new numbers. I love all this auto import data when the computers feed it to me automatically. Now the heat index has just jumped to 90. We have heat index values already at 92. So it's the real feel number, or that index, that leads the National Weather Service to issue these heat advisories. They did extend it until 6 p.m. tomorrow. Some of the models have us at 90 or 91 even tomorrow. Air quality alert, again, it's in effect until 11 p.m. Scanning the skies right now, it's quiet. We are going to leave about maybe a 20% chance of a pop-up storm in the mix this afternoon. Better chance tomorrow. Some of those storms could be strong, but please pace yourself. Heat can make you sick. Mary?
John, thank you. New video this morning shows a suspect in a weekend vandalism spree in Brooklyn. Several businesses in Bensonhurst were defaced with racist graffiti targeting the neighborhood's large Chinese population. Police say the hate-filled messages were found on at least 7 storefronts along 86th Street in Bensonhurst. The new video comes from outside a Green Food supermarket in the area and was recorded at around 2:30 Saturday morning. The NYPD Hate Crimes Task Force is investigating. Also in Brooklyn, more protests are expected today outside the Happy Red Apple Nail Salon in East Flatbush. Community members have vowed to keep the salon closed after a brawl broke out there on Friday when a customer complained about her eyebrow service and refused to pay for that and all of her other services. That's when surveillance video shows the argument escalating into an all-out physical fight. Police say the customer hit an employee and the employee then struck her repeatedly with a broom.
They viciously attacked the grandmother and her granddaughter, beat them with sticks as if they were animals, and threw acetone on them. And we're here to demand justice.
The customer, Christina Thomas, and the employee, Weiyu Zhang, were arrested. The search is on this morning for a man who attacked a tourist in Queens, knocking him unconscious. The victim now on life support. More from CBS 2's Ali Bauman in Long Island City.
Family of 35-year-old Sandor Soba says he was only supposed to be in New York City for the weekend. The marketing professional flew in from Florida for a wedding in Long Island City Saturday. But the celebration turned devastating just after 1 a.m. Sunday when police say this man punched Soba in the face on 29th Street by 41st Avenue. The blow so hard, Soba fell backwards, hit his head on the concrete, and lost consciousness.
Never in a million years would have thought that would happen, especially over here.
1 a.m. I wouldn't be on the street.
Soba's family says he was leaving the hotel where his brother was staying and called for a car to go back to his own hotel. The family believes he was knocking on car windows to check which ride was his. Police sources say when Soba knocked on the suspect's window, that man got out of his car and punched Soba. The unknown man then drove off in this white SUV, leaving the Floridian tourist to bleed alone on the sidewalk.
Our road is basically new hotel, and then like abandoned places. So it's just a process of like gentrification and like converting. It will take some time for it to be more safe.
Sabo is in critical condition on life support at the hospital with doctors monitoring his brain activity. His family is understandably devastated and say Sabo had just started a new job. Now they may have to plan his funeral. Police are asking anyone with information on the suspect to call. From Long Island City, Queens, Ali Bauman, CBS 2 News.
A woman has been arrested accused of stealing from cars parked at a cemetery. Police say Tiffany Radford was targeting cars parked at St. Charles Cemetery in Farmingdale. Police say Radford would steal from unlocked cars while the owners were visiting graves. The incidents happened between April and July of this year. And new information on an attack at a popular Upper West Side restaurant. It turns out the suspect was charged with 2 murders in Boston. Carlton Henderson was hiding in a freezer at Sarah Beth's Sunday morning. Police say he jumped out out, grabbed a knife, and attacked employees. He went into cardiac arrest during a struggle and died. It's not clear why he was in the freezer or how he got in there. Henderson was arrested in Missouri last year and sent to Boston to face murder charges dating back from 1988. He was released on bail last week after a judge granted a motion to suppress evidence. Happening now. District attorneys and several Safe Streets advocates are rallying for speed cameras in New York City school zones. They are gathering at the Spruce Street School in Lower Manhattan to demand lawmakers reinstall the cameras before the end of the school year. About 120 cameras were turned off last month after state lawmakers failed to reach an agreement on funding to renew the program. A new warning about the potential dangers of too much screen time for kids. The American Heart Association says children should only have 2 hours of recreational screen time each day. Researchers found much more than that being linked to childhood obesity and poor sleep. 8 to 18-year-olds on average spend more than 7 hours a day looking at screens. A local teacher steps in to help a man in need at a New Jersey convenience store. It turns out to be an urban encounter she won't soon forget. CBS2's Maurice Dubois has the story.
And he said, "Ruth, I'm Keith." And I said, "Oh, that's who you look like, Keith Urban. Do people ever tell you you look like Keith Urban?" And he said, "I am Keith Urban." I said, "No, you're not, really."
But as this picture proves, it really was Keith Urban. The singer had a concert in the Philadelphia area last Friday.
We just played up here in Camden, New Jersey.
But first, he stopped by a Wawa in Medford, which is where Reed spotted him. For years, the woman and her husband have been picking up people's tabs as a gesture of kindness.
We decided when we saw military people, we would treat them at Wawa or Dunkin' Donuts or whatever.
So when she spotted a man at the register who seemed to be short on cash, she jumped at the chance to help.
I thought, this is it. No, I'll get it.
Turns out it was Urban, but Reed thought it was just a look-alike because he wasn't with his Oscar-winning wife, Nicole Kidman.
And I said, "Really? Really? Then where's Nicole, and who was that woman you were with?" And snippy, not nice.
But Urban had a completely plausible explanation.
And he said, "It's my sister, we can ask her." I said, "Okay, I don't think she would lie to some old lady."
Reed then noticed bodyguards, so she was convinced and still agreed to pay for Urban.
And I just fell apart. I just fell apart, and he was gracious.
And Reed says Urban stuck $5 in the donation box at the Wawa register. Beyonce is opening up about some personal issues in the upcoming September issue of Vogue. The singer reveals she had an emergency C-section last year when she gave birth to her twins and spent several weeks in intensive care. At 218 pounds at the end of her pregnancy, Beyonce says she gave herself time to lose the weight and that she's still in no rush to lose her, quote, little mommy pouch. For the first time in Vogue's history, the cover was shot by an African-American photographer, 23-year-old Tyler Mitchell. You'd think someone who worked on a shark research boat would be pretty unshakable. Well, think again.
Whoa! Holy it dove right out of the water!
In this close-up, you can see the shark shoot straight up. This happened on a research boat off Cape Cod. The Atlantic White Shark Conservancy says such encounters are rare, but says they have heard of reports of sharks breaching like this. They say it's a reminder to not be complacent when out on the water. And that's your CBS 2 News Update. I'm Mary Calvi. Have a great day.